Last episode, we played Minecraft like a normie. We built a house, explored, mined, enchanted, and fought a wither. This episode, we are leaving the basic Minecraft life behind. Although we got an easy way to regenerate health last episode by farming flowers and mushrooms to create regeneration suspicious stew, this isn't going to cut it. These aren't stackable and they only regenerate 1.5 hearts. What we need is a gold farm for golden apples. No, not one of these donut ones above the nether roof that you can build in 3 hours. What we need is a gold farm that is so good. We need a gold farm that takes longer to build so I can actually make a few episodes out of this. So we're going big today, but before we start building the gold farm, I need mending on my tools because this project is going to get a little bit crazy. So I made up some weakness potions and then started flying out to the village that we found last episode and found a little surprise. Hey, I think this might be a new village. I don't think I found this one yet. Let me check it out quick. Hey, I found some apples. Awesome. Ooh, that's a good trade right there. Let's grab some emeralds. Got an achievement. Making a diamond hoe so I can get these hay bales super fast. Totally not a waste of diamonds. Very valid use. And now that I stole all of the hay, converted it into wheat, and trade it back to the same villager that probably made all the hay, it's a great system, at least for me. More apples, yes. Alrighty, so I've decided just to infect some villagers here and get new mending trades, because it's a bit closer to my base, so I don't have to travel as far. Come on, zombie. Where are you? Oh, there we go. That's what I like to see. Alright, come on, zombie, go in there. Come on, zombie, right into here. No, no, no! Oh. Stupid golem, man. Should have killed it. Nope. Alright, there we go. Should be good now. Alright, have we got any zombies in the hole yet? Oh, yes, we did. Thank goodness. Gonna sleep now. Since I couldn't sleep, I did this cool bridge thing to get away from the zombies. It might have been a little unnecessary, but when given the chance to do the cool bridge thing, you do the cool bridge thing. Yeah, that took longer than it should have. I griefed my village, oh no. Alright, so here we go. I thought we had 2 of them in there. Where'd the other guy go? Huh. Oh well. Alright, so now we got a zombie villager. So now all we should have to do is weakness and golden apple. Hey, I just got an achievement. That must mean he is cured. Yes. So as a token of gratitude for my great charity, the villager decided to give me excellent deals. 1 emerald. Oh man, that is a good deal. Just grab a couple of these. And hey, look, we got the infinite emerald trade too. 2 emeralds for 3 books. 1 book for 1 emerald, so 3 books for 3 emeralds. Great. Clearly, Minecraft is a balanced and fair game that absolutely does not promote villager cruelty. Gonna grab some Unbreaking 1 books too, so I can get Unbreaking 3 on my Elytra. And now I can put an Unbreaking 3 and Mending on my Elytra, so now I can fly forever. Also can put Mending on my pick now, and my other pick, and I'm all out of XP. Nice. Since I got Mending and I'm going to need a ton of resources for this gold farm, I decided to change the beacon over to Haste 2 and do some speed mining. Here we go. Now this is how you mine. Turn this back into speed and regen. There we go. So here we go. Pretty good yield. It's not going to be enough, but it's a good start. Also got all of this, which will probably be useful for pistons and stuff. Anyway, I think it's time to actually start thinking about the design of this farm. There are 5 primary categories for gold farm designs that I can think of. The first one is the donut design, where you use zombie pigmen aggro and pathfinding features to continuously spawn and kill the pigmen. This is the most popular gold farm design for a reason. Not only is it easy to build on top of the nether, but it also allows you to automatically get XP and use looting if you hold a looting sword. The second design uses the turtle egg game mechanic. If you didn't know, zombie pigmen seek to destroy turtle eggs by stomping on them. Because of this, you can just place a turtle egg and they will pathfind off the edge and into your trap. This is also a solid design, but it's more difficult to get XP and use looting. The third design, and probably the most unique design, is where you use a ton of nether portals to spawn pigmen in the overworld. There's a game feature that occasionally spawns zombie pigmen in nether portal blocks. By scaling this up and placing a ludicrous amount of nether portals, you could actually make an efficient overworld farm using this. However, because this takes just so much obsidian, it's probably inferior to the other designs. It's still a pretty cool farm though. The fourth design basically involves using iron golems usually, or maybe it could use TNT or something to kill the pigmen on a huge platform. This one is also unique and it could double as an iron farm, but it's unlikely to be efficient enough for our needs. Finally, the fifth design is a piston trap. This is by far the most efficient since you can remove the pigmen from the mob cap immediately. It's also extremely easy to build at a low Y level, which increases the spawn rates. It is the most difficult to build though, and it's also more difficult to use looting with. So, which one are we going to build in our world? All of them. So what I need to find is a giant wasteland biome here in the nether. I think that's where the pigmen spawn most efficiently. In the other biomes like Crimson or something, you get a lot of hoglins and stuff. So I'm in a wasteland biome right now, but I'm not sure how big it is. I gotta check it out. Yeah, so it ends over there, and then back here it ends right there. So I'm not sure if this is big enough. I'll have to explore it more. Gassed. Oh, that's a good shot. Yeah, so I checked this out, and it's not exactly the 256 by 256 wasteland biome I wanted, but it's pretty close, and it's extremely close to spawn, so it's probably a good place to build it. So I'm probably going to build all 5 of these farms in the same area, just because then I only have to mob-proof one area. Oh, but the mob proofing is gonna take forever. I'm probably gonna have to half slab this whole thing. I could also destroy it, but that will take even longer. So I could just slab this with like cobblestone or wood or something, and it would look pretty ugly. Or there's this new block in 1.17 called the moss block. And the thing about it is, it's kind of like grass, except it's green everywhere, even in the nether here. So I'm thinking maybe I could turn the entire nether into like an epic looking overworld cave-ish type of thing. Maybe. It might be a bad idea. It's going to take an extremely long time, but at the same time, it won't look stupid. I mean, it's either that or maybe use red nether brick or something and keep the nether theme. I don't know, the nether's doesn't look that great, so maybe I should just do the moss thing. Wandering trader, do you have moss? Oh no, I don't know where to get this stuff. I guess I'll head over here and see if we can just go caving for it or something. I think it's in caves. Hey, it's a goat. That means we must be in new terrain. So what do these things do? Nothing? Should I kill it? Nah. Goats are cool. This looks promising. Found my first copper though. I actually don't know what this stuff does really. Oh, you get a lot of it, wow. What is this? Just use silk touch just in case. Nothing. Do you need shears? Alright, let's try shears. Yep, it worked. It is glow lichen. Ooh, this is an interesting little cave here. Found some deep slate over here. I really like this block. Let's get some of it. What is this thing? It's like a weird type of fish. Wonder if it drops like fish or something. No. And then there's this too. Glow ink sack. Interesting. I don't know what it does. Hey, it's another one of those fish things. Alright, I wonder if I can pick this guy up in a bucket. Yep. Cutest predator. Axolotl. I think that's how it's pronounced. Don't know what that is. So I just surfaced from caving and I looked it up, and apparently you cannot get moss underground until 1.18. So The only way to get it is through shipwrecks or wandering traders, so I'll probably have better luck above ground. Here's a shipwreck. No, don't drown. Yes, we got it. Thank you. At this point in my moss-seeking adventure, all I needed was a steady source of bone meal to create a moss farm. So, I headed out on a caving adventure to look for a skeleton spawner. Oh my goodness. Wow, there's a lot of skeletons here. There's a spawner. Is it skeleton? It is! Yes! Grabbing this beacon so I can get haste over by the skeleton spawner. Man, I really need a wither skeleton farm. It'd be nice to have a lot more beacons than just the one I have now. So before I get to building this skeleton farm, there is one thing that I absolutely need for it, and that would be tinted glass. So I haven't found a geode yet, so I don't have the amethyst shards that you need for it. So I'm gonna go see if I can find one. So I ran out here to the new 1.17 terrain, and now I'm just gonna dig down, see if I can find a cave. Hopefully this won't take too long. Here's the cave. Check this out. That's a lot of good stuff right there. I've been caving for a few hours and I still have not found a geode, so this is taking a lot longer than I thought it would. So I decided to just resort to tunneling through the ground at about, 40? And then about 2 minutes in, look at this, I immediately hit one. After like 5 hours of caving, no geode, and then I just dig through the wall a little bit and I find one. Amazing. Oh man, oh it's beautiful. Then these must be the shards here. I don't know how they work at all though. I guess I'll break one. Cluster? What's that? Let me look this up. So I did a little bit of research and it turns out that you can farm this stuff. Basically, it grows off of these blocks right here. Not this one's different. You can't break these blocks or move them even with a piston or anything. They're stuck where they are. So I'll have to build the farm here, and it's probably not a good idea to automate this for smaller scale projects because it only drops 2 when you break it with a piston, but it can drop like 15 or something when you break it with a Fortune 3 pick, so probably not worth it right now. So if I break this with my Fortune pick, I should get a ton of shards. 4? Thought it was way more than that. And I'm going to mine this entire thing out so all of the buds here, this like cracked version, are exposed, so then I can get the maximum number of clusters growing. So I just finished excavating this entire area free of calcite and amethyst now. Only have the buds remaining. This stuff actually takes quite a bit of time to grow, so I'm probably gonna have to AFK here for a while. I just AFK'd for way too long, but now we got quite a few of these things grown. Let's see how many we get. 12, that's more like it. Check this out, so this is the yield here. It's pretty good. It's not a full harvest, but this should be enough for now. And in addition, I also got all of this, so that's pretty cool. Here we go. First tinted glass. Awesome. And we can now make a spyglass too. These things are pretty cool. Oh yeah. It's just like the Optifine zoom. Man, it's been so long since I've made a basic mob grinder like this. Usually I just jump right to making a huge mob farm because they're way better, but this time it definitely makes sense just to make a skeleton grinder. Man, I love haste so much. Ooh, this stuff looks nice. So I just went way overboard with this shut-off system here. So basically when I hit this button, it toggles on and off. I'll turn it off now, so this makes lava come down, the water goes away, the pistons pull that down so the lava doesn't spill everywhere. And then when I want to turn it back on, I just hit the button again, and then it waits until the lava's at the bottom, and it pushes the pistons back up and releases the water. The redstone is somewhat complicated, so I'll do my best to explain it. From the button press, the redstone pulse splits. One simply goes up to the lava bucket dispensers, which toggles the lava. The other redstone pulse goes to a T flip-flop, which basically just converts a button press into a switch or a toggle system or a lever kind of thing. The redstone current from the T flip-flop goes to a hopper timer, which moves 23 items to either the left or right hopper depending on the input signal. A redstone comparator generates a signal from the left hopper. When all 23 items are in the left hopper, the signal reaches some repeaters, which sends a pulse to the pistons to extend. It's important to note that there's a 10-second delay for extending the pistons, but no delay for retracting them because the system needs to wait for the lava to clear. This delay occurs because it takes around 10 seconds for all 23 items to move from the right to the left hopper, and all 23 items are required in the left hopper to extend the pistons. However, it only takes a split second for one item to move from the left hopper to the right hopper, which will cause the redstone signal to no longer reach the repeaters and will immediately retract the pistons. Finally, I just hooked up the water dispensers to the same redstone signal that controls the pistons. The water dispensers also need a 10-second delay for ejecting water, but no delay for retracting water. I sent the raw signal and inverted signal to separate pulse shorteners, which sends a pulse to the dispensers when the redstone signal turns off and on. I use the pulse shorteners so the signals don't interfere with each other because they activate and deactivate at the same time. All I had to do to get this running was to manually make sure that each toggle was in the correct state. So there we go, that's my overkill on and off system for this thing. Hopefully that explanation wasn't too confusing. So now it's time to actually make the trap for these guys. Probably be way easier than this whole part. So this wandering trader has something called small drip leaf. I don't know what it is, but I should probably get some of it. So apparently you can place this stuff on dirt. So apparently this stuff can be placed on dirt if it's underwater. Yep, and then you can grow it with bone meal. And I have 5 big drip leaf now. Nice, this is a good looking block. Might use it in this build here. Alrighty, I finished hooking up this tube here, so now it should be all ready to go. Alright, let's see if it works. Oh, there they are. It's not working. Oh no. Yeah, that could definitely be better. Alright, let's see if they're one-hit kill. Yep. So I've updated the water stream now, it should work. I used a fence, so they probably won't get stuck there now. Let's give it a go. Yep, so this should work now, good. So now the only thing left here is a item collection and sorting system. I'll probably just hook up some hopper minecarts underneath this thing, have it go up and put it into a sorting system, pretty basic. Alright, here we go, first real test. Seems to be working. Wow, that's a pretty good yield. Yeah, so I guess I'll show you the redstone really quick here. Basically, the minecart with a hopper in it goes underneath where the skeletons die, picks up all the drops, comes up here, and then there's an unloading station up there, and then it goes into these item sorters. One of them's for bones, one of them's for arrows, and then anything that doesn't fit into that category, like armor and stuff, just comes up here into this dropper here. If I put some stuff into here, it will burn it all. Well, I think it's about time to start working on the moss farm. So I just finished clearing out some space here for this thing, and I'm gonna show you the mechanics that I'm going to use for this farm. So basically, if you bone meal a moss block, and you can do this with a dispenser, it will spread it all over the place along with some other things like this. And we can just use water to clear the stuff off the top, like that. And then to actually break the moss blocks, you don't have to do this manually. You can do it automatically by using a piston. So basically, I'm just gonna make a huge stone generator and then push the stone out, and it will break the blocks when they turn into moss blocks. And then I'll wash the water over the top to clear everything. And then additionally, I might add a composting system for like the seeds and stuff so I can get some bone meal back. So here we go. The first thing I'm gonna need for the stone generator is pistons that push the stone when it gets generated. Then I'm also going to need dispensers for lava buckets, which will land on top of the water. Then the water will be placed here and here. And then we're gonna need something that controls the timing of all these things, like the pistons extending and the lava ejecting and the water ejecting and all that stuff. So I'm gonna do a hopper clock. Now we don't want a long pulse here, so I'm gonna do a pulse shortener just like this. So now we're gonna run the first redstone current right over here to these lava dispensers. And then because the lava dispensers takes 2 pulses to fully do its thing, and the pistons and the bone meal stuff only takes 1, we're gonna have to do a T flip-flop and a pulse shortener to send the pulses to these things. There we go. Now we got the piston thing hooked up and the lava bucket thing hooked up. Now the water dispensers are gonna go right here. Now these are going to require a little bit of a delay. Now the moss blocks are going to go right here and right here. Now at the end here, I'm going to put some obsidian. That is because we don't want the pistons pushing the stone too far if it gets ahead of itself, and pistons can't push obsidian, so it will work. So the dispensers for the bone meal go under the moss blocks. And now I just got to hook these things up with a 2-tick delay. Alright, let's give this thing a go. It probably won't work because it has to be all synced up, but it might. Well, it appears that the stone generator part of this is now functioning. Yep, everything seems to be working pretty well. And that bone meal just finished up here. Let's see how much we got. Oh wow, we got a lot. So I see one change I want to make to this thing is I think the bone meal should only go every other piston push. So I'm going to add another T flip-flop in here. Alright, it seems that I got all the timing stuff fine-tuned. Got a ton of it from that last one. So now I think I'm going to copy this thing to the left and to the right so then I can get a 3x efficiency on this thing. No. And I now have all 3 of them done, and it seems to be working really well. It is a little laggy though. I filled a full double chest full of the stuff from this. So now all we're missing is an item management system for this. We need to collect, sort, and then compost some things we don't want so we can get more bone meal. It's pretty similar to what we just did up there, so I'll probably just build it real quickly. Alright, I think I got this thing just about done. I hooked up the water streams to take the items up to there, and then it goes up to a dual item sorter. So basically it's 2 times hopper speed. It has it on both sides because 1 times hopper speed wasn't fast enough. As you can see, it's filling up pretty fast. It works pretty well. And additionally, I added a little compost system down here. It only feeds it to this left one here because I didn't want to bother with splitting items because that's kind of complicated and probably not worth it. The cool thing about this though is that I included switches. So right now I have this one flipped, meaning all the seeds that come into here go down and get composted, turned into bone meal, put back into the system. And I can flip any one of these levers to make that specific item turn into bone meal. So if down the road I'm getting too much of an item like azalea or something, I can just get rid of it all and turn it into bone meal. So now for both of these projects, even though they're kind of the same, We got all the redstone done, but this place is an absolute mess. We need to pretty it up, we need to build some things, we need to make it look cool. And to do that, I think I'm going to go for a cave-ish build in the spirit of the cave update. Building man-made caves or building in caves is one of my favorite things to build in Minecraft, so I have a lot of experience. This shouldn't be too difficult, and it should be even better with all the new updated blocks. Yeah, so let's get to this. So the first thing that I had to do for this build was remove a ton of stone and make the actual cave shape. Thank goodness for haste 2 because this would have taken forever without it. I personally don't like the diorite and andesite blobs in the side of the cave walls, so I yeeted them and replaced them with stone. I also made 2 entrances to the cave. One is down near the moss farm and the other one is above the skeleton spawner. It was feeling a bit claustrophobic in there, so I decided to make the cave lower and just build platforms to access the farms. And then finally I flooded the bottom of the cave because I just think underground lakes are awesome. No, don't die. So I just filled the bottom with water and we got all the new mobs spawning here, so that's pretty cool. The game's doing the decoration for me. Yeah, so all in all, I'm pretty happy with the shape of this cave. My goal was to make it similar to the 1.18 caves that are going to be coming out, and I think I did a pretty good job. But now we just have a huge blank stone cave, and I think it's about time we add some decorations to it. And so I just went ham with all of the cool cave nature blocks that I could think of. Perfect placement and careful thinking did not matter because this was a nature build. I also created some wooden platforms and this cool waterfall in the upper entrance. So I think I got this build just about done now. Surprisingly, this didn't take as long as I thought it would. I think that's because all the new blocks just makes this process so much easier than similar things I've done in the past. Yeah, like things like moss, you can just bone meal it and then you can build it up really quick. In the past, you'd have to place leaves or grass or something and you have to do it all manually. It takes a long time, so I'm really happy with the new updates. I think this has made it so much easier and it kind of looks better too. Yeah, so some things I added were custom trees there, and there. And then I also added some calcite things coming from the ceiling. I think they look pretty cool. I added a spiral thing of copper up these tubes, which I think also looks pretty cool. Although I do think I like the orange better. It's oxidizing right now. I don't have honey yet, but when I get some, I might turn it back to its original color. And then, of course, you have to put emerald ores, the rarest ores in the game, in your walls for the flex. And yeah, I ended up removing all of the torches too. I don't really like the torch look in caves. I like it much better when there's hidden lighting. Even though this lighting's not hidden that much, it's just pumpkins under the leaves. I still think it looks way better. And then finally, I touched up the pathway and killing area and all that. It's not the best. I'm not too good at building pathways, but I think it will do for now. So if you remember, the main purpose of this entire project was to get ready for the gold farm. Basically, in order to make an efficient gold farm in the nether, you have to slab the entire thing. We're going to be using moss carpet like this. This stops zombie pigmen and other things from spawning in the nether. And that process is going to take a long time. So we're doing pretty good here. We have a ton of moss and carpet. So this farm is more than efficient enough to provide us enough moss for this crazy project we're about to undertake. And so I gathered some moss blocks and moss carpet and flew over to my house. I entered the nether and prepared for a monumentous event. I placed my first moss carpet of the hundreds of thousands that this project will take to complete. To see me place the rest, you will have to wait until the next episode. Or you can just click on that big end screen because you're from the future.